Gosh, guys, what is going on? I was just cruising through some code um and I actually added a ton of stuff. Well, not a crazy amount of stuff, but I did add the button functionality where we can go ahead and name a task. So we'll say new task. We have our drop down configured where I could say medium or what's not, and I'll say medium. And then for the status, I can say to do or in progress, and I can create it. And I'm setting this all with a handle post function. And this handle post function is setting the button state here. So I made some updates to the button state as well. Sorry, I know I just dove straight in. I didn't even say welcome to this next episode. Because we're running on a lot of momentum right now. I didn't realize how much I was getting done, but I had let me zoom out a little. I had reconstructed the button just a little bit and added this button state function, then made a button state type as well. That just takes idle, loading, success, failed, and disabled. So those are like the states of a button, right? And then I pass all of those in to the button itself, the base button. And we can conditionally render like the background color, a loader, and a success state, a failed state, etc., or a disabled thing. So that's what I did because I want the button to be disabled when it's not working or when it's not validated. So we'll notice this as well, right? If I undo all that real quick before even adding an action to the button, let me go ahead and hold on. Let me go ahead and pull up the button again. Come on, baby, come on. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I add a button, and you can see how the button's disabled right now. So I'm clicking on it. Oh, hold on. We see cursor's not allowed, and we can see I'm clicking on it, and then it validates after I put in all three of these forms. So I have two, and then if I put in, boom, validates. See that? So new task, and watch, it loads, gives us a success state, and boom, and it adds. So we just need to close it now, and then it also can do a failed state. So let me show you that. So I think it's just going to default to low, and yeah, it's just going to default to low priority, I think medium priority, and then in the to-do column as well. But there's also, if I take out one of the validations, let me show you. So I'll take out the task name, boom, and let's just go ahead and pass it in with no task name. It should do a failed state. So pretty cool. Pretty cool that the button is dynamic a little bit, where we could see a success state, a disabled state, a normal state if it's just idle, and a loading state as well. So that's what I recently added. And what else? What else did I do? That was just kind of cleaning up some of that, getting that ready. I didn't do the update modal function, so maybe I'll run you guys through that with the update modal, because we do need to adjust some of these things with the update modal as well. So maybe I can do that here with the delete button as well. Yeah, maybe I can show you guys that. Let's do that. So delete, I'm going to go ahead and find our handle delete function, which we have a delete task modal. Then I go to handle delete. So I'll go here and we can set the button state. So look at this. I'm going to set the button state to loading. So when I first press the function, it's going to load. And then when I'm done with the function, let's say it successfully deletes, we can say set the button to success or set it back to idle or something. And then let's see, what else can we do? And then after a set amount of time, what I chose for the previous one was 750 seconds. We just want to set the button back to idle. The reason for that, if we left it in success state, next time we visit that button or use that button somewhere else for a different task, it might just show the last state it was. So we need to reset the state back to what it originally was. And then I am going to, I guess, wrap all of this. I could stash this loading, I think, in the try block. but I'm going to wrap all of this in a try catch. So let me take all of this and put it into a try catch. So I'm going to kind of decipher it like this so I can kind of tell. And part of my brain was thinking maybe I should build a utils, like some sort of function that handles this, like the button stuff. I don't know how I would kind of do it, but my brain naturally is going to that, where I can say, if I just had some maybe auxiliary function, and I just pass in the function there, and it handles all of that. Yeah, still haven't thought that one through, but I think it would be cool. So with the delete, let's go ahead and check this out and see if it works. So say test. We'll build a new task to do. Boom, success. And let's see, delete. Well, of course, it's just going to delete instantly. So that's awesome. But if I set the delete in the success timeout, let's just give it a set timeout actually. Oh, looks like I can't do it. Okay, boom, what about that? Looks like I can do that. So we should see it load for a sec. Oh, and then I need to pass the button state in. That would be exactly why we're not seeing anything. So button state, oh, not task card. We need it in the delete task modal. Sorry guys, my brain is just like on 50 right now. I was just cruising. No, I need it in the delete task modal, which is going to be in the delete task button, and button state equals button state. Okay, let's try it now. We go test. We're going to get a new task out here. Boom, delete, boom. So it deleted it, or it should have. But you can see that loading function happen just when we click it. I'm going to go ahead and put that back into the await. And it should, again, it might take a second to do the delete, but it should be pretty quick, right, when it does it. So let's just get another task out there. And boom. Yeah, so it just deletes everything, which is perfectly fine. But at least we see some sort of loading, and we can render the modal to close when the button goes back to idle. That could be something we do. It was actually something I did at work with Babson, but that's a quick and dirty way about it. Not really dirty, actually. I think it's kind of clean. But another thought I had was to stash all of these states, like have a button loading state in the task store. So this task store, I could do this, and that's kind of what I did with the fetching task. So set some sort of loader in here, but maybe I'll sleep on that one. I think sometimes when you sleep on stuff, your brain just like thinks and does wild things. So I'm going to wait on that, but let's go ahead and move on to the next task, I think is the goal here. So we do have kind of a few operations going now. We can add task, which is awesome. We can validate them as well. We can post them. I do need that to close on post, but small thing, I'll figure out on my own time. Next task I would almost like to do is to update the task status. So when I click a button, just for now, we'll have like a button left and right for each one of these tasks where it can go to the next column or the previous column. But that's pretty much just updating tasks. So maybe we get ready for updating task. I think is kind of the goal maybe here while I have all this momentum. So let's maybe do that. So task name, we're going to get all this stuff, similar stuff as we have in the creating a task, with the exception of the assignee. We'll deal with that later. And I also remove the task category for now. We just have the ID up here. But we can figure that out or think about it if we want to include the task category. I do think we should, but I don't want them categorized. I want them part of a sprint or some sort of project, right? So that's kind of the category in my mind. So talking with Chester, seeing that if you saw last episode, we kind of task, we're going to have users and projects, and the projects is what's going to hold on to the task. So in my mind, that's the category, but we'll see what ends up happening. So let's think about this for a sec. I do need to go to the controller. Boom, not the user controller. And I do kind of like this because if we can knock this out, I won't say the Kanban is done, but I will say it's like 80% done, where I would feel good about moving on and going to the next part of the application where, you know, we can kind of build the dashboard page and start, you know, doing stuff there in that page, because we've been spending a lot of time over here. And it looks good, though. It really does. It's coming together great. I really do like it. So I'm proud of the work that we've done and the progress we're making. But let's see. So we need to update the task name. Okay, let me think. We need the rec.body. Oh, we're passing it all in here. Thanks to ChatGPT who did all this. Task index, what is this? So it's going to find the task index based on the task ID, it looks like. And then we're going to update everything. If it can't find the index, it's going to say task not found. Great. And all this stuff, it's going to keep the task name, the previous task name. If I don't pass one in, it looks like. If I don't pass a previous priority in, it's going to keep it. If not, it's going to update it to the new task status and the new task priority or the new task name. And then it looks like we're going to send a res.json, and we can maybe also add a res.status of, is it 200 or 201, one of the two. But 200 is fine. Task updated, and maybe we can wrap this in a bit of a try catch block, right? It says that's not doing anything for us, but I beg to differ. And if we don't, we'll say res.status 500, internal server error. Or we'll say task was not updated. Boom, one of the two. Okay, so interesting. I feel like I should have to do something with Mongo to save the task, kind of like this, right? Let me just double check with ChatGPT real quick. Update a task in MongoDB. Here is what I have done for posting a task. Okay, let's see. Let's go to our routes again. Make sure we do have that route ready to go. So we're putting, boom, nice, update task. Great. And let's go to the task store. Task priority, task name, and task status name is what we will pass in. Oh, and it looks like we do need to pass in the ID as well. Okay, so I'll pass that in. Task name and task column name is almost good enough for the history. I just want to be explicit on okay, it's changed it a little bit, which would make sense because I don't see anything related to Mongo here. And now, boom, it has. Okay, cool. So let's assume that this works perfectly fine. I'm going to update this to, actually, no, that's fine. We'll leave it. I was going to say update a task, but that's perfectly fine. The function says that it's updating the task, so as long as we know. And task ID needs a comma, little bug there, and I think that fixes us in the store. Of course, my computer's lagging because I'm recording again, audio, screen recording. Had to double check, and face recording. So let's see. Task store. Okay, expression expected. Oh, we got a little comma there, a little typo there. And let's go to our base column. handle update task. Let's just hard code in some updates. Actually, we're going to pass in the ID, but everything else, let's just hard code in. Or maybe not, actually. Now that I think about it, we do have all the state working, so let's just not do that. And task priority, and then what did we call it on the front end? Task column name, I believe. So as string, task priority as task priority, and task column name as task column name. Nice. Task store, task priority, boom, boom, boom. Expected 1 argument, but got 4. Oh, you know why? I know exactly why, because our handle update task is up here. And we need to task ID as, was it a number or string? I think it was a number. Great, great. Task name was a string. Task priority was task priority. Task column is task column name. Okay, great. So then now we just need to pass all this stuff to our function here. I guess technically if we're updating, we could, no, because we'll have to requery task after. But I did handle it in the store actually. This was working, I believe. So when we create a new task, I just popped in the fetch task or get task and all these functions when we use them. So it should, in theory, let's add one to the middle column, test, and in progress. Yeah, no, that works. Okay, so we don't actually need this function like this. We can just, unless we need to await an update, but we might just be able to get away with doing this. Let's see real quick. Handle update task and boom. We might be able to get away with just passing it directly in the store. I'll comment this out for now. If not, we'll go back to the mission, the plan. Let's see. Okay, let's try it out, folks. Test. We're going to rename, and pick a high priority, and we'll leave it in progress. Let's see. Update 1 error. Let's see. 404 failed uncaught server. Boom. Put request. Task 37. It looks like it's oh, you know what? In the task store, I think the endpoint's not correct. Update task. Boom. Okay, let's try that one more time. Nice, folks. Nice. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the thing right now. So we'll go update, boom, low, and in progress. Let's go to high, actually. Let's go, folks. That was 18 minutes flat. I'm honestly proud. That was pretty quick. That was pretty quick. Honestly proud. I was just feeling it in a good moment, and I naturally wanted to click the other side of the modal. So I'm going to put the update button over here, and maybe we don't want to have the buttons vertical of each other like this, but we actually want them, or excuse me, not horizontal, but we actually do want them vertical. Maybe that's what we want out of this, like this. And instead of gap X, we'll go gap Y too, just so we could see. And the update does need to, oh, where did I, oh, I didn't do it in the right spot. My fault. I just saw the first gap X and said, I'll do that one. But we do want to, let's see, folks. We do want that update button to load. So maybe we do want to have some sort of function here where it is going to be handle update as promised. Task store update task. We already got it. Great. And task name, task priority, and task column name. Nice. Great. And handle update task. I thought we were using it. Weren't we? Are we not? Handle update. Okay, I forgot the task part. And we're going to steal the same thing that we've been doing in these other stores, this try catch of, or not these other stores, but these other functions. And this is why it just feels like there's an opportunity here, because I'm repeating myself a lot. But tomato, tomato, we're just getting the thing done right now. We can always streamline after. Let's pass in wherever the update task function is. Oh, I was literally staring at it, I think. Let's go ahead and pass this button state in there. And I think we should get successes now and things. So let's try. Boom. And we also need to check the validation. Nice. Oh, we did not get a success state. I don't believe so. I think it just updates. Oh, I know why. Because we didn't include it. That would be why. Nice, folks. I think this will work. So test, medium, in progress, update, success, update. Nice. So then in theory, I do think we can just pop over to a new thing. Shouldn't this pop it over to the next column? If I put it back into do? Or did I get a failed state because I didn't put in all things? So I'll put it into do. Test, so it changes the name. Oh, but maybe I'm not doing something on the controller. So maybe this thing is too complicated here, and I'll just go ahead and put, oh, I see task status. It's not task status. It's gonna be task status name, I believe. What do we send it as the store? Task status name, that's correct. Okay, that might be our bug. Task status. Task status name. Task.task status, that is our schema, right? I forget. This is kind of why I didn't want to have two different payloads, because it can, you know, fast forward 2 weeks, like that's just tiny things I'm more than likely going to forget. But I do think this will work right now. So let's wait for the server to connect. Make sure we're all up to date here. And boom. Okay, so test. And let's pop it over to do. Say priority high. Success, folks. Did it do the thing? Let's see. We're going to refresh. Might just have a querying the task issue, which would be an easier issue. Over to do. No freaking way. We just crushed two birds in one stone. This is a fast thing. This is a fast episode. Yeah, I might wrap this one early. We are just crushing right through. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I think yeah, I'm gonna deal with the querying issue, but let's go ahead and just push that. Very, very, very quick episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching again. Appreciate the support, the bug tracker full stack application. I do think we're about wrapped up here on the Kanban, at least for now. We don't need it. React hook has a missing dependency array. I see that in our ESLint. So I'm gonna get an ESLint rule to remove the dependency array. Can you add a ESLint rule to remove the dependency array in use effect? To remove the need for a dependency array in use effect. Boom. Okay. Let's see if ChatGPT can do that for us. And then we'll go ahead and push it up and I think wrap it up for today, guys. That was kind of a quick just boom, boom, pow, you know? Okay, so exhaustive hooks is off. That's going to be the thing we need. Let's see, React exhaustive hooks and let me pop that in. Let's see, boom. I'm sick of seeing this error. Don't like it. Shouldn't be there. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a silly dependency array, right? Okay, okay, great. It's no longer an issue. I can see because it's not orange anymore. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Don't need that file. It's npm run push. That's our, again, dirty command, I think from episode 12, I want to say, where it's going to lent, run through our lenter, then our type check, make sure all the data's decent, right? And then it's going to go through our build, make sure deployment can still happen, and then ultimately push it up to the repo. So we're pushing clean code and running through functionality. I do think this does almost wrap up the Kanban page. At least for now, we can kind of park it and start working on some of the other functionality. I'll hopefully come back around for some of that fancy dancy polish and other things. But we do need to kind of, I guess, get the users configured. And right now we can let go of the comments icon, I think. So yeah, guys, but thank you so much for watching today's episode. Let's just make sure this push goes through, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. But that was a bit of a magic moment, I think. I think when I was doing the button state, and I was just feeling like, okay, things are just lining up, and I was just shredding through code. So pretty awesome to see. And we're seeing the push happen. Looks like it happened. And let's go ahead and get add on the back end as well. So that's where a couple of our changes were. That's epic. All right, folks, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.